Deep in a sunny, sprawling jungle, where the trees whispered secrets to the wind, lived a lion named Leo. Now, Leo wasn't just any lion. He was the biggest, fluffiest, most magnificent lion anyone had ever seen. His mane was like a golden sunset, and his roar, when he bothered to use it, could make the coconuts tremble on the palm trees. But Leo had a secret, a very big, very lazy secret. He didn't like to hunt, not one bit. While other lions practiced their pouncing and perfected their stalking, Leo preferred napping. He'd find the softest patch of grass, stretch out his enormous paws, and doze the day away, dreaming of juicy steaks that magically appeared right under his nose. One sweltering afternoon, Leo's tummy rumbled a mighty rumble. It sounded like thunder rolling through the jungle. "Oh my," he sighed, opening one sleepy eye. "I'm so hungry I could eat a—" Well, I could eat something, if only it would walk over here. He was just too lazy to get up. His stomach rumbled again, even louder this time. Just then, a tiny blur of white and brown zipped past his nose. It was Ricky the rabbit, the fastest creature in the entire jungle. Ricky was always busy, darting here, hopping there, his little nose twitching with curiosity. He skidded to a halt when he heard the tremendous rumble. "Goodness, Leo," he chirped, his long ears flopping. "Was that a thunderstorm?" Leo managed a weak smile. "Worse, Ricky. That was my tummy. It's demanding a feast, but my legs have decided to go on strike." Ricky tilted his head, his bright eyes sparkling with an idea. He looked at the giant, hungry lion and then at his own small, quick self. He wasn't strong like Leo, but he was very, very clever. "A feast, you say?" Ricky said, a grin spreading across his face. "I think I can help with that. No need to move a muscle. Well, maybe just your jaw muscles for chewing." Leo's ears perked up. This sounded promising. "You can? How?" Ricky wiggled his nose mischievously. "Leave it to me, Leo. I have a plan." And so began the most unusual friendship the jungle had ever seen. Ricky, with his lightning-fast speed and brilliant mind, became Leo's personal food finder. Their first adventure was the case of the coconuts. Leo mentioned he was craving something sweet. Ricky zipped up the tallest palm tree like a little rocket, but the coconuts were too tough for him to open. So he thought for a moment, then scurried down. "Leo," he called out, "I need you to do something very, very scary. When I give the signal, let out your biggest, loudest, most terrifying roar." Leo, though lazy, was quite proud of his roar. He took a deep, deep breath. Ricky pointed his paw at a group of monkeys chattering high up in the coconut grove. "Now," he squeaked. Leo let out a roar that shook the very leaves on the trees. The monkeys, startled and scared, dropped the coconuts they were holding and scattered in every direction. Thump, thump, thump. A dozen sweet, juicy coconuts landed right at Leo's paws. Ricky scampered over, broke one open with a well-aimed rock, and pushed it towards the lion. Leo lapped up the sweet coconut milk and crunched on the white flesh. "Ricky, you're a genius," he purred, his tummy finally happy. "That was the tastiest and easiest meal I've ever had." Ricky just beamed, proud of his clever trick. A few days later, Leo was dreaming of berries. Sweet, plump, purple berries that grew on the other side of a wide, rushing river. "Oh, for a mouthful of those berries," Leo moaned, peering across the water, "but I'd get my magnificent." Mane all wet, Ricky hopped onto a large, flat rock by the riverbank, his mind already spinning. He saw a family of hippos lounging in the cool water. Another idea sparked. He hopped from rock to rock until he was close enough to the biggest hippo. "Excuse me, Mr. Hippo, sir," Ricky said politely. "The great King Leo has a very important message for your friends on the far side of the river. It's a royal decree." "But I'm too small to swim across." The hippo, who had a great deal of respect for King Leo, grunted. "A royal decree, you say? Very well, we shall help." The hippos lined up, their broad backs forming a perfect, sturdy bridge across the river. Ricky bowed his head in thanks and then scampered back to Leo. "Your royal bridge awaits, Your Majesty," he announced with a flourish. Leo, amused, carefully padded across the hippo bridge, his paws staying perfectly dry. He feasted on the plump berries until his muzzle was stained purple. He had never tasted anything so delicious. All thanks to his tiny, brilliant friend. Leo looked at Ricky, who was nibbling on a single berry. "Ricky," he said, his voice soft and full of gratitude. "You may be small, but your brain is bigger than my roar." Their greatest challenge, however, came during the Great Mango Mishap. High on a cliff overlooking the jungle grew the most legendary mango tree. Its fruit was said to be so sweet it tasted like sunshine itself, but it was guarded by a flock of grumpy, territorial vultures, who wouldn't let anyone near. Leo sighed, gazing up at the orange globes hanging tantalizingly from the branches. "Those mangoes are the stuff of legend, Ricky. But even I wouldn't want to tangle with those vultures." Ricky surveyed the scene. The vultures were circling the tree, their sharp eyes missing nothing. A direct approach was impossible. He needed a distraction, a big one. His eyes fell on a pile of shiny, colorful pebbles by the river. "That's it." Ricky gathered up his energy and then started zipping back and forth below the cliff, moving faster than he ever had before. He created a whirlwind of dust and leaves, a confusing, chaotic blur of motion. The vultures, distracted from their guard duty, swooped down to see what all the commotion was about. "What is that thing?" one squawked. "I can't tell," cried another. While they were all mesmerized by Ricky's super-speedy dance, Leo saw his chance. With a powerful, surprisingly nimble leap for such a lazy lion, he sprang up the lower rocks of the cliff. He stretched out a giant paw and hooked a branch, shaking it with all his might. Down rained the mangoes. A cascade of sweet golden fruit tumbled down the cliffside, landing in a soft pile of moss right where Leo had been napping. By the time the vultures realized they'd been tricked, Ricky had vanished and Leo was already back on his grassy patch, licking the sweet juice from his whiskers. He saved the biggest, most perfect mango for his friend. "For you, Ricky," Leo said, nudging the fruit towards him, "the mastermind of the great mango heist." Ricky nibbled on the mango, his heart swelling with happiness. He wasn't big or strong, but he had helped his friend and filled his own tummy too. From that day on, Leo was still the laziest lion in the jungle. He still loved his naps more than anything, but he was never hungry, and he was never lonely. He had Ricky, his best friend, who proved time and time again that you don't need big claws or a loud roar to be a hero. Sometimes all you need is a quick mind, a fast pair of feet, and a friend to help. And Leo, the big lazy lion, learned the most important lesson of all. Even the smallest friends can make the biggest, most wonderful difference in your life. The jungle was a happier and much more well-fed place because of the unlikely duo. And every so often, if you listened closely, you could hear the sound of a mighty rumbling purr mixed with the cheerful chirp of a clever little rabbit. Thanks for watching our story today. If you enjoyed the adventures of Leo and Ricky, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fun tales. See you next time.